What's up, boys and girls? It's Basil Kamisa sitting on what can only be described as a very old sofa. We from the Sports Sofa are here to break down the NHL playoffs for you. Nightly recaps of the games that were so you can talk about it with your friends and pretend that you're the expert. Wait. We're not experts either, but we are pretending we are for your sake. Let's get right into it. Let's start in the Eastern Conference with the always intriguing 4 versus 5 matchup featuring Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay. Now, in a series where nobody really knew what way these games would go, both teams relatively even in terms of their strength. Pittsburgh equalized by the losses of Crosby and Malkin. Tampa Bay with their always high-flying offense of Stamkos, St. Louis, LeCavalier. We didn't really know where these games would go, but Pittsburgh exerted their dominance right away in this game. While not scoring until the third period, they came out firing, especially in the middle frame with 18 shots. Dwayne Rosen for Tampa Bay stood on his head, but couldn't do it all as Alexei Kovalev scored early in the third, and Pittsburgh opened from there. Pittsburgh ended up winning the game 3-0 and can be very, very proud of their accomplishments today. I do still think they have the upper hand in the series, but Tampa Bay's offense, as mentioned, is too good to be held back for this long. Expect them to come out firing next game. Let's move over to the West with a 3-6 matchup. Phoenix, for the second year, has made the playoffs, and for the second year, faces Detroit. Last year, they did take them to 7, but this year, the vibe is just different. Detroit came ready. Phoenix scoring an early goal did not help, as Detroit in the second period scored 3 unanswered goals to take a commanding 3-1 lead going into the third. At an early third period goal by Daniel Cleary, putting them up 4-1, the game was surely over. Phoenix did manage to bring it back to 4-2, but Detroit's presence and veteran experience just proved too strong. Interesting to note, Johan Franzen now has points in 13 straight playoff games, and if Phoenix has any hope to win this series, it's not the Datsuks, it's not the Zetterbergs, it's him that needs to be contained. Let's look at the 1 versus the 8 seed in the East. The Washington Capitals stormed up the standings late in the season to take that 1 seed in the East, while the New York Rangers barely hung on to make to the 8 seed. Well, this game played nothing like that. Both teams had great chances, and both goalies came up huge, and the New York Rangers took a 1-0 lead early in the third period, and it looked like they would steal the home game from Washington. Washington, however, came back on a controversial Alex Ovechkin goal to tie the game at 1 and force the game into overtime. Late in the first overtime, it was Alexander Semin, he of the no goals on 44 shots in 7 games against Montreal last year, finally providing the winner for Washington, breaking out of a long playoff slump. He went 15 games without a goal for Washington in the playoffs. It looks like the Mike Fisher deal for Nashville is paying off. The Predators paid a high price to acquire the winger from Ottawa, and it looks to have done them good. Mike Fisher contributed on 3 of Nashville's first 4 goals, and they wrote a solid performance by Pekka Rinne to take a 4-0 lead into the third. We're just going to assume they won the game, seeing how I'm tired and I have an exam tomorrow. Let's take a look at the 1 seed Vancouver Canucks taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. No one in Vancouver could have been happy playing the 8 seed Blackhawks, the defending Stanley Cup champions, and the team that has knocked Vancouver out the last 2 years. But this Vancouver team looks to be different. They came out firing on all cylinders in the first period and rode 2 early goals to a 2-0 victory. Vancouver will have to do more in terms of scoring later in the game because Chicago did miss a lot of chances that they're surely not to miss later in this series. So recapping all your winners tonight, Washington takes a 1-0 advantage on the Rangers. You have Nashville and Vancouver in the West taking 1-0 leads respectively. You have the Detroit Red Wings putting Phoenix behind them in their first game. And finally, you have Pittsburgh taking a 1-0 lead over Tampa Bay. The 3 other playoff series take place tomorrow with rivalries between Boston and Montreal surely to bring some excitement. We have Philadelphia and the surging Buffalo Sabres, and the all-West Coast LA Kings versus San Jose Sharks matchup. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks for joining us at the Sports Sofa.